Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike. And over the past month or so, Drew McIntyre has been on a rampage. He's essentially turned into a Bloodline Bounty Hunter. He is after anyone who has helped Roman Reigns, and he's been attacking Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, and now next week, the first episode of Raw on Netflix, it will be Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. And the fact that they seem to be moving pretty quick with Drew McIntyre through this whole storyline does make me wonder what the true endgame will be for Drew McIntyre when it comes to WrestleMania. Because usually what we've come to know with the Triple H era in his booking is he likes to play the long game. And he likes to stretch things out. And normally you could say you could stretch this out a while, especially if you did want, say, Drew McIntyre, who has said that Roman Reigns, it all ends with Roman Reigns, that it all comes down to Roman Reigns and exacting his revenge for Clash at the Castle back in 2022. Now, I will say, it is still very much impressive that the WWE has had a storyline such as the Bloodline that has had these major dominoes fall and these major reactionary in terms of how it has affected the entire landscape of the WWE and its storytelling. We've seen it with Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes. Kevin Owens, he's mad that Cody Rhodes came with the Bloodline after Kevin Owens has fought the Bloodline. You know, Kevin Owens said he's going to come across to Sami Zayn. You know, he's going to walk that bridge or whatever he said when he gets to it in regards to Sami Zayn teaming with the Bloodline at War Games. And so you kind of see how Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre both kind of are like justified in how they are acting and in their actions, so to speak. And just to talk about Drew McIntyre, the fact that they do seem to be moving at a much quicker pace, because Drew McIntyre, to me, that makes me question, is Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre a possibility for WrestleMania? Because, look, I think after next week, the first Raw on Netflix, which I will be live streaming here on this channel, so go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button, as you can join me for the first Raw on Netflix next week. And we will find out if The Rock is going to be here, if he's going to be at WrestleMania, and whatnot. We'll have a much clearer idea. And if The Rock is not going to be there, then you have to consider, you know, this whole entire thing that Drew McIntyre has said. It ends with Roman Reigns. But he's also going after those who have been helping Roman Reigns. And for the very same reasons that Kevin Owens has attacked Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre has every bit of reason to be the one to face Cody Rhodes and potentially dethrone Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And at that point, you know, maybe you do another Clash at the Castle. Wherever that was, you do the rematch, but between Drew and Roman, but it's in reverse. Drew going into that show as the champion as the guy who feels like he's the hero in the story, but the roles are reversed where Roman Reigns is getting cheered. The fans are chanting OTC, with Drew walking out as the champ. Or you have the first two-night SummerSlam in 2025, where you have Drew as the champion and Roman Reigns, who is looking to regain the very championship that he lost, because let's say Drew McIntyre does beat Cody Rhodes, then you do Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam as the main event of night 2 of SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium. Because again, Drew has said that it ends with Roman Reigns, but that brings me back to Cody Rhodes and WrestleMania. Because obviously, with Jimmy Uso being injured, it does limit what they can do right now. And I think once Jimmy is medically cleared, I think there is that chance we do get Drew versus Jimmy at some point. Unless they just want to count Drew taking him out as part of the hit list. You know, we saw him take on Sami Zayn, Saturday night's main event, Jey Uso next week. And the Royal Rumble is a month away. February 1st. You know, could Drew McIntyre win the Royal Rumble? Absolutely. I will have a video coming up talking about the top contenders for each of the Royal Rumbles after next week. Because I do want to wait and see what happens on that first Raw on Netflix. That will kind of give us a general sense of who might win the Royal Rumble. But if it's Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso next week, and we already know that he's gone through Sami Zayn, he's taken out Jimmy Uso. And as much as I don't like the idea of Drew kind of being like, hey, Solo, you cost me the title, but because you hate Roman Reigns, we're cool now. I don't like that. I still think I would like to see Drew kind of mix it up with Solo, get his revenge, because Solo did cost Drew the title at Clash of the Castle. But for WrestleMania, you know, if Cody Rhodes isn't facing John Cena, isn't facing Randy Orton, I think it's a very good possibility of Drew McIntyre winning, because you don't need him to win the Royal Rumble. He could just win the Elimination Chamber like he did this year. And Drew McIntyre wins the Elimination Chamber to go challenge Cody Rhodes. And because he feels like he needs to beat Cody Rhodes to complete this whole little bounty hunter thing that he's doing with the Bloodline. And so that's a real possibility. But at the same time, if you don't have The Rock, and let's say you do want Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, or Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, well, that does free up Roman Reigns. And if Drew McIntyre is going through the Bloodline, well, the OG Bloodline, this fast, and Triple H isn't drawing it out in the way he usually does, this makes me think that Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns could be one of the main events for WrestleMania. Yes, I know people have said, what about CM Punk versus Roman Reigns? Well, you know, I would say CM Punk might be in a world title match. That's where I'm kind of leaning towards right now, if I had to make overall predictions. But Drew versus Roman, it all comes down to this, right? Drew getting his win back over Roman Reigns, feeling vindicated for everything that the Bloodline has put him through. You know, the same thing with Kevin Owens. He feels like he's been betrayed by his friend Cody Rhodes for teaming with Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre, Well, I don't think he's friends with Cody Rhodes or Jey Uso or any of the Bloodline members, but he does still remember what happened and all of what the Bloodline has done to him over these last couple years. And Roman Reigns right now, I'm just saying, if you have Drew take the title off Cody Rhodes, let's say we do have The Rock show up at the end of the Tribal Combat match between The Rock between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, and The Rock comes out, Rock Bottom Roman Reigns. That sets the stage for The Rock versus Roman in WrestleMania. Then maybe Drew wins the Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, and he goes on to face Cody Rhodes. And then Drew beats Cody, and then Roman Reigns wants to face Drew because he has the championship. And then we get the roles reversed, say at Clash at the Castle or SummerSlam. I think that's intriguing to me. So, to me right now, is the end game for Drew McIntyre for WrestleMania Cody Rhodes? Is Drew McIntyre going to be the guy to dethrone Cody Rhodes when we've all been waiting and expecting it to be The Rock, Randy Orton, John Cena, or whoever else? Will it all just be Drew McIntyre being the one to dethrone Cody Rhodes? Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? Should Drew McIntyre face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania? Or should he face Roman Reigns? Leave a comment below. And as always, I've been your host, Money Mike, and you've been watching Ringside Cinema.
Ringside Cinema, where the battles roar. Ringside Cinema, legends at the core. Tune in, feel the rush. Wrestling meets the screen. Ringside Cinema, living out the dream. Living out the dream. Living out the dream. Lights down, time to go. Cheers for heroes we know. Ringside forever bold. Wrestling never gets old.